Hello, good morning students of class 6. In this video, we will study about Unit 5, that is separation of substances. Separation of substances. There are many instances when we notice a substance being separated from a mixture of materials. As we have learned in chapter number 3, we gain cotton to separate its seeds from the fiber. Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. Picking out chilies from parathas, or we pick out chilies while eating poha. Milk or curd is churned to separate the butter. Suppose you are given a basket of which contains the mangoes and guavas, and someone asks you to separate them out. What would you do? You will pick out one kind of them and place them in a separate container, right? So, why do we separate the substances? Separation of substance is something we encounter on our daily basis. It is usually because we can say that there are three main reasons. First reason, to separate two dissimilar but useful elements, like in the case of butter and milk. Milk is churned in order to obtain the butter. To segregate the useful elements from the useful ones, we separate out the useless elements and from the useful elements, like in the case of separating tea leaves from tea. And third point, why do we separate substance, is to remove or to discard the impurities or potentially harmful substance, like picking out small pieces of stones and some impurities from rice and wheat. The substance to be separated may be particles of different size or materials. This may be solid, liquid, or even the gases. So, how do we separate the substances mixed together if they have so many different properties? So, we will discuss some methods of separating substance that are mixed together. You may come across some of these methods being used in day-to-day activities. Methods of separation. First method is hand picking. The simple process of separating slightly bigger sized harmful substance or useful substance or impurities like small pieces of stones, husk or dirt from grains of wheat, pulses and rice is called hand picking. In situations when the quantity is less, or we can say that when the quantity is not very large, hand picking turns out to be time saving and convenient process of separating substances. But when the element is very large, the hand picking is not useful. So next method is threshing. You have seen that a single stalk has about more than 100 pieces of grain seeds joined to it. It is manually impossible to pluck each grain seed, which is very small in size, from the stalk, and hence hand picking as a method of separation does not work here. That is why we use threshing. So second method is threshing. After the crop is harvested, stalks, that is the stems of rice, wheat, are left to dry under the sun. We use a method called threshing to separate these grain seeds. So we can define threshing as a process of separating the edible part that is we can eat that part, that is grain seeds from the stalk by either with the help of machines, bullock carts, or sometimes by beating them as shown in the figure. Third method is winnowing. Even when threshing is done, husk or small chaff is still attached to grain seed, and since the size of the two is quite similar, hand picking does not work here. So, and neither does the threshing works here. Hence, a method called winnowing is used. So, winnowing. The method used to separate chaff from grain by wind or blowing air is called winnowing. The mixture of chaff and grain is taken in a winnowing basket. The farmer stands at a higher level and lets the mixture fall to the ground. The grain, being heavier, almost falls vertically, whereas the lighter chaff is carried away by wind and forms a separate heap away from the grain. The separated chaff is used as a fodder for cattle. Next method is sieving. If the components of mixture are of different sizes, they can be separated by sieving. The smaller component passes through the pores of the sieve, that is the small holes of the sieve, whereas the larger components, we can say either the stones, stalk or husk, is left behind it. This method is used in homes to separate wheat bran, the bigger particles, from flour. The process of sieving is also used to separate the pebbles and stones from sand at the construction sites. If you visit the construction site, you can see that sieving process. The stones and pebbles present in the mixture remain in the sieve, upper portion of the sieve, and the finer sand particles pass through the hole of the sieve. So we have learned these methods of separation. First method was, what was the first method? That is hand picking, then threshing, then winnowing. So read this methods of separation from textbook. From the next method, filtration, we will study in the next video.